I'm going to be matchmaking every single main card fighter from the last 2 cards. I'm sorry I missed the Serbia card. That was my birthday was that week, and I didn't end up making it. I had a lot of family things that was going on, so I'm doing it now. Starting with this Janicic guy. He lost on, I think it was a short notice debut, but he got injured. It kind of sucked, so I'm going to be matchmaking him against the guy that lost to John Pork, I think the week before. They both lost their debut. They both probably going to take a little bit of time off, and then they should hopefully both be back by the end of the year, maybe early next year. And I think this would be a fun fight. Moving on to, I forget this guy's name already, but he's the guy that beat Janicic, and so he's undefeated. I think all of his wins are by finish, and I think he should fight Kareem. I don't know his name. Something. Oh, it's confusing. I'm gonna look like a casual in this video, but it's been a while since I've made this this first half of the video. But Kareem Al-Salwal Hadi or some shit like that. That's the fight I think you should give him. I believe he beat Shamrock in his last fight off a decision. Decent fight. Nothing too good. I think that would be a good next step up to see where he is in the UFC, and I think he would win that fight pretty easily. Moving on to this guy who got fraud checked instantly by Gilbert Urbina. I think he should give him someone that also got finished instantly in their debut, a Canadian. This guy lost to Robert Valentin in his debut by, I think, it was like first round submission, really easy, like a minute and a half. Chepo, he got knocked out in a minute and a half by Gilbert Urbina in his debut. So I say, make this fight, the loser gets cut. For Gilbert Urbina, I thought he was going to get cut after this, but he manages to stay alive, keep the win. And yeah, I think he should fight Jordan Santos next. Santos is pretty tough, and I think he would probably win that, and then you could cut Urbina. Moving on to Dusko Todorovic. I want to see him fight Nick Klein, because I think Klein's still in the UFC. And I don't think he has a single win, though, unfortunately for him. But Dusko doesn't have much grappling, so that could be a win for Klein. Probably not, though. And I could see Klein getting cut after this loss. For Valentin, we should give him the winner of Wes Schultz and McVee. That's probably going to be a decent fight. Probably going to end by, I don't know. I think McVee is probably going to beat Wes Schultz, to be honest, and he could probably beat Valentin as well. But Valentin versus McVee was supposed to happen not too long ago, and then it got canceled. And then that's when Valentin actually got his first win in the UFC, and now he's on a win streak, and I think this would be a perfect time to make that matchup. Moving on up the card, Marcin Tybura. Originally, I was going to match him up against the winner of Guilherme Pat and the Beast Titan. What's his real name? Steven Asplund. But Asplund had a good call-out after his win this past weekend, so I'm going to give him his call-out because I think it was good. And for Tybura, I think he's on like a huge losing streak now. He's somehow still in the rankings. I don't think he deserves to be in the rankings, but he should get Leka. Leka's coming off his debut, I think a round 1 KO. Easy finish. I know this is a huge step up in competition, and I hate when they do this, especially at heavyweight. But there isn't a lot of heavyweights, and I think this would be a decent fight that Leka could actually get done, and if he does win it, he would be in the rankings already. So not a bad fight for him. Tybura, almost, I think it's time he retires or gets cut or something. I think it's a 4 or 5 fight losing streak now. I might be wrong about that, but he's just awful. I don't think he's good. Even his fight against Mick Parkin, that's one of his wins. I thought he lost that. So he's just not been doing good lately. Moving on to Rakic, winning his heavyweight debut. I think he should get 3 nips next. That would be a sick fight. Ante Delija. He's a I don't know. He's a fun fighter, but he has been getting finished a lot recently, and I think it could be another decent win for Rakic, and he could step up into the top 10. I don't know if he is top 10 yet, but that would be easy top 10, top 8, and then he can look for a top 5 matchup maybe at heavyweight, and that would be a good fight for Rakic. But onto Delija, could also be a problem for Rakic, could come back with a win. Now this is really iffy, but Jan Blachowicz, coming off the loss to Navajo Sterling, he fell all the way down. I don't think he's in the top 10 anymore. He's around number 11 or 12. And this guy, I don't even remember his name at all, but he made his debut against Dustin Jacoby, and Jacoby's really, really good, really close to the rankings. And it was a short notice debut, and he smoked Jacoby in the first round, I think, or the second round by knockout. And yeah, he whooped Jacoby instantly. So he looked really good. I think him versus Jan Blachowicz would be a sick fight. Blachowicz got smoked instantly by Navajo Sterling, and I was not happy about that. I picked Blachowicz, and it just sucks to see Blachowicz go out like that. But I think this fight would probably end the same way, unfortunately. So I don't really know why I'm making that matchup. But I would love to see this fight. Moving on to Navajo Sterling. I think this is a perfect fight to make. Khalil was supposed to fight Magomed Ankalaev, but he had to pull out. And I think that was the week after or the week before. But it was really recent, and I think it's a perfect, the week before. But yeah, it was the week before, so it's perfect time. It adds up. But I think Navajo Sterling already has a fight booked or fight plans already, so I don't know. You could also do a Yuri matchup, which would be really fun. I just don't want to see Yuri get slimed out again. Or a Paulo Costa matchup, that's another opponent. But I think those are the only 3 you can give him. He's top 4 right now. I think those are the only 3 above him. Or maybe, I think Ankalaev is definitely above him too. But don't give him Ankalaev. I think it's either Khalil, Yuri, or Costa. Those are the only options for Navajo. A great win from him. And yeah, he's legit. I've always loved him, but I've been hating on him and doubting him a lot lately. And I think it's time to stop doubting him. He's really good. Him versus Khalil's a banger. I think he would probably beat Yuri. Him versus Paulo Costa, he would probably beat Costa, but that's a sick fight. So yeah, he's on a title run now. Moving on to the main event, Daniel Rodriguez slimed out by Uros Medic, and I think we should give him the welterweight Uros Medic instead, or the lightweight Uros Medic. Terrence McKinney. McKinney's moving up to welterweight. I think this would be a fun debut. It might be a little too high up the rankings, but I don't really care. I don't think D-Rod should have been that high up the rankings either. And it would be a fun fight. If McKinney doesn't slime him out instantly like Medic did, he would probably lose the fight. But it would be sick. McKinney's a banger every time he goes out there. And yeah, I want to see this fight. Another fight I want to see, we should give Medic Leon Edwards finally. He's been calling him out. I think it's finally time. He finally deserves it. Big name on a big card, and then Medic would become a huge name if he can slime out Leon. So that'd be nice. Moving on to this past weekend's card, Quillen Salkild versus Gamrot. First fight on the main card, we got Billy Ray Goff. He's a scrapper. I love this dude. I want him to stay in the UFC, and I want him to come back. So I think he should fight Song Kanan. This is the guy that got wheel kicked out cold by Nazim Sadikov, I think. No. Muslim. Not Nazim Sadikov. Oh my god, I'm such a casual. But Muslim. Is it Muslim Sadikov? It's Muslim something at welterweight. But he got wheel kicked out cold in China, and it was a sick knockout. But it's been a year now, I think, since he's fought, so he should be looking for a fight hopefully soonish. And whenever Billy's ready to go, I want that fight next. Moving on to the guy that beat him. Ty Miller's a banger. I think this fight, there was another fight I was looking at that I was also really interested in. but I didn't do it. I don't know. I think Chris Curtis is a winnable fight for Ty Miller, but he's also a big test. And I think if Ty Miller can get the win, he would be looking for a top 20 matchup. You know, he'd be looking for a fight right outside the rankings, maybe even a top 15 matchup type deal. But he's the real deal. I think he's really good. I think he is good enough to be ranked, but there's still a lot to show. And I think Chris Curtis is the perfect next opponent to get through for Miller. Moving on to Lemos. I think Tabitha Ritchie's not a bad fight for her. They both just lost recently. One of them needs a comeback. And yeah, I think Lemos could actually probably beat Ritchie, but I want Ritchie to win this fight if it were to happen. For Alexia Tainara, the winner of this fight, I'm pretty sure this is going down sometime soon, probably in China. And yeah, I think Yan Zhao Nan's probably going to win by decision. And I think Alexia Tainara should get that fight as like a number one contender fight maybe. There's also a Fatima Klein matchup who just recently won, but I think we should save that. I think that could be a number one contender fight. I think they could fight for the belt eventually maybe, but I think Fatima Klein is really, really good. And I think Alexia Tainara is also proving that she's really good as well, but Klein's on another level, I think. But that fight would be sick. The winner of this would be sick. I just think it's too early for Fatima Klein right now. But down the line, after this fight, if they each get one more fight, then you could do Klein versus Tainara for a number one contender fight, maybe for the belt, something like that. It would be awesome. Darren Elkins, he is retiring, so we don't really got to talk about that much. Yadir Del Val, this guy has a really weird career. His first win, there was like a huge betting scandal and everything. And then he lost his next fight. Now he's coming off a win, but it was against a super old guy. I think he should fight Danny Silva. This guy just knocked out the Pink Panther in his debut, not Silva's, but in the Pink Panthers. And yeah, it was a great win. He's undefeated in the UFC except for his only loss, which is a decision to Kevin Vallejos. Not a bad loss at all. I think he's very proven, and honestly, he probably should get a better opponent than this. But I just kind of want him to fraud check this guy again. So that's kind of all I want from that. Moving on to Billy Quarantillo. He lost his lightweight debut, but it's not to a really bad opponent at all. So I think we should give him Matt Frivola. I think I could see him winning this fight. Frivola's not that great, but he could also just kind of knock out Billy Quarantillo. But I don't know when Frivola's last win was. I feel like he's just been on a losing streak ever since I've seen him fight. But he might have had a win in there sometime. I don't really know. But that's a good, decent fight. Kind of, not really. This is a good fight. I think they haven't fought. I should have checked. I'm pretty sure I did check because I was going to do Diego Ferreira versus Michael Johnson, but they already fought. So I think this would be the next best fight. Ludovic Klein, he just lost to that Russian dude that cheats a lot. And I think this would be a good comeback fight. I think Klein would win this. Ferreira's getting up there. But I'm glad to see Ferreira come off of a win. Gamrot, the loser of the main event. All right. Now, I think him versus Benoit Saint Denis would be a good matchup. I didn't think of that until recently. But I know this fight's happening soon, and the timing might be pretty good. So the winner of Moicano and Brian Ortega would be great to fight Gamrot, because Gamrot has now proven that he can't really fight grapplers. Charles Oliveira and Quillen both submitted him, and a lot of people probably see Quillen as more of a striker anyways. But Moicano and Brian Ortega, the winner of that, definitely has a chance to submit Gamrot. But if they don't, if Gamrot just plows through them and dominates them, then that just proves how good Quillen and Oliveira are. So I think this is a good matchup. If they do Gamrot versus Benoit, I would not be upset either. I think that's another sick fight for both of them. And yeah, that's a sick fight. Now for Quillen Salkilled, I mean, come on. This is the fight. There's a lot of fights. A lot of people want Max Holloway. I wouldn't be upset with that, but Holloway, apparently he's going to just wait for the McGregor trilogy, which would be really stupid if he does that. Armin's fighting Mauricio Rufy right now. Gaethje said he's not going to fight till next year, so I think Gaethje's probably just going to fight the winner of Arman versus Rufi. I think Ilya should fight Paddy, and then that would save Charles and Quillen at the top. And I think this is a sick fight. You could do Quillen versus the winner of Dan Hooker and that French guy that's main eventing. That would be also probably a fun fight. But if Quillen's ragdolling Gamrot and submitting him like that, he's probably going to do the same thing to Dan Hooker. And I want to see this fight. Him versus Charles would be fun. Put the BMF on the line, because if Quillen wins, he deserves that BMF for sure. And then you can give him a number one contender fight, or maybe even just a title fight. If he were to finish Charles after Charles comes back on another resurgence and another win streak, I think Quillen would get a title shot after this, given the winner of Arman and Gaethje, or the winner of Rufi and Gaethje. And yeah, I might be, a lot of people think I might be pushing him a little too high, but he's top 5 now, or top 6 now. And I think if the other matchups go as I planned them, then this is a sick fight to make. Quillen is the BMF. He deserves a chance at it. 5 rounds against Charles Oliveira. It would be a perfect fight, I think. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I will hopefully try and get the recap, or not the recap, but like the matchmaking for 331 out the week after, or like the week of the fights kind of thing. And yeah, have a great night.